Today, we're diving into the repeated Sapphic tendencies of Riverdale's Betty and Veronica. We'll also be exploring whether or not the new Barbie movie is actually lesbian-coded, and the sex lives of college girls mourns the loss of its biggest star. After 6 very interesting seasons, Riverdale is finally coming to an end. Now, I won't even pretend to understand what Riverdale is.
Daddy, chill.
What the hell is even that?
But in the show's most recent musical number, infamous frenemies Betty and Veronica finally dump Archie for each other.
Inside you.
And although this seems like cause to celebrate, Riverdale has a rich and long history of queerbaiting the hell out of its audience, and this isn't the first time Betty and Veronica have made out. But despite being burned in the past, there are still some fans who hold onto hope that Betty and Veronica might actually be Endgame.
This time it's different. I'm a Barbie girl in the Barbie world.
Unless you've been living under a rock, you've definitely heard about Mattel's upcoming Barbie movie starring Margot Robbie along with half of Hollywood. But what you might not have heard is that the film is sprinkled with several Sapphic adjacent moments, like these.
Or you can know the truth about the universe.
Get in!
Now, you might think a queer Barbie is too far-fetched for a film meant for mainstream audiences, but you have to remember, this is Greta Gerwig's Barbie, and if there's one thing about Greta Gerwig, she's gonna Greta Gerwig. And she made sure to let folks know that no one is excluded from the Barbie universe. And because this is likely the first of multiple Barbie films, those Sapphic sprinkles might eventually turn into a Sapphic shower.
What does that even mean?
The sex lives of college girls is presumably in mourning because its breakout star, Renee Rapp, is leaving the show for greener pastures. And by greener pastures, I mean Renee's going on tour. In addition to her breakout music career and upcoming tour, Renee's also reprising her Broadway role as Regina George in the upcoming Mean Girls movie musical. So to say that Renee is booked and busy is an understatement. But Leighton stans need not fear, because Renee will be in a handful of season 3 episodes of The Sex Lives of College Girls. So here's hoping the show gives Leighton a send-off befitting of a legacy. If you watched my July new releases video, then you know I was hoping against all hope that Joyride would turn out to be a little queer. It wasn't, but there has been a new development. In an attempt to make me love her even more, my current celebrity crush, Stephanie Hsu, revealed to Collider that there was a whole-ass gay situationship between her character and Sherry Colas, but was unfortunately edited out of the final cut.
You ready to lose to a celebrity?
Oh, I can't wait to slap the shit out of you.
But according to Stephanie, there's a possibility that her and Sherry's Sapphic pairing will be included in the sequel, if there is a sequel. Because right now, Joyride 2 is unfortunately little more than hopeful speculation. Have you ever wished Sweeney Todd was a
Bisexual woman of color?
If so, then Amazon Prime's newest show should be right up your alley.
So when am I going to see what these magic hands can really do here, huh?
The Horror of Dolores Roach is a one-woman stage show turned podcast turned Amazon Prime series about an ex-con who, Sweeney Todd's people. Now, the awesome thing about Dolores is she's not just bisexual in title. We actually get to witness her having relationships with both men and women. And she makes it clear that her sexuality wasn't adapted for prison. It's who she is.
Bisexual woman of color.
I also want to give a quick warning to anyone who might be a tad squeamish, because if you're familiar with Sweeney Todd, then you know that what Dolores does in the back gets a little gory. I want to give a quick shout out to my newest patrons, Lindsay, Megan, Uzi, Xochitl, and Trevon. And for those who don't know, I have been hard at work covering Gap the series over on my Patreon, and honestly, we are having such a good time. So if that sounds like your cup of tea, you might want to consider joining. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.